Welcome, everybody, to Satori School, and also
the whole soul.
So I wanted to start this episode in a beautiful way. There's a little bit of meditation music in the background. We'll keep it. But I wanted to share from my heart who Claudia Bykowski is from the perspective of the one who lives with her. There's nobody else who gets to live with you.
No.
The vast majority of the world just gets to see you through Instagram. So it's a pretty intimate knowingness of your essence that I hold from seeing you in all the different situations that unfold in our life, in the good and in the bad.
Bring it on. I want all of it.
No, this is just a beautiful heart share. So Claudia is the most raw and authentic woman that I've ever met in my life. Her capacity to speak her emotions and communicate what she's feeling is out of this world, especially through her writing. She has a very profoundly simple and direct style of writing that toddlers can understand, which is such a gift because some people's writing just feels like, oh man, I have to Google every third word. Why do I feel stupid? And it's a really powerful gift to be able to communicate simply, because when you do so, you're able to reach far more souls in the process. Some people believe that speaking from an intellectual style makes you look like you're better than or more of an authority because you're speaking with such powerful words. And actually, although there is power behind specific words, if you can communicate simply to where toddlers can understand you, you're tapping into infinitely more reach and power. So whenever I hear your writing, it's really profound because it's always very clearly understood and it lands in my being every time. And I've cried so many times when you've shared things with me. So I feel that people who follow you through social media will resonate with that really deeply as well, because I think that is sort of what shines forth in such a predominant and beautiful way when you show up in the realms of social media. And when I see what Claudia Bykowski is in the digital world, it's a very beautiful and accurate representation of what you would imagine her to be like in the physical world. And that is not a very common thing, in the sense that most people who show up in the digital realm are trying to show up as this. And there's a very profound difference between showing up as that which you are and showing up as this. And what we're really talking about is the difference between someone who's authentically sharing from their heart versus someone who is trying to be something that they're not. And there's such a difference. And it's such a fine line. And so few people can really discern the difference between the two. But you're so good at articulating it and expressing it. And that is so much of what you share with people, is the radiance of your authenticity. And in sharing that, you become a beacon of what is true and what is soft and what is love. And that's a profound thing, because most people don't know what is true and what is soft and what is love. And so when they come to see you and feel you and be in your presence and be in your field, they come to know what love is. That's my intro to you.
Oh my God. That was so much to receive, and I was just letting it come.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Honestly, it's been really difficult for most of my life to receive compliments and feel them as true from the people that it's coming from. So yeah, this was a beautiful practice for me to just allow and believe it, like really let it land and receive it. So I'm really grateful for that. And I love you so much. I also want to pinpoint something you said about like the authenticity of who you are versus showing up as this.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I've been looking into and learning. So I just want to pinpoint that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to introduce you and let you receive.
Okay.
Taylor Isaiah Benterud.
I feel like you just courted into my soul.
I know, I did. You are the most intelligent, sophisticated, while being the most wildly playful, pure, and loving human that I've ever met in my life.
Aww.
You are an entrepreneur, and you're also so passionate about consciousness and spirituality and just living from a heart-centered space. Something I love about you is that literally every single woman that I know that meets you loves you and they feel safe around you. And we have several friends that hold the belief, or they feel that you're the safest man that they've ever encountered. Like you're the first man they've ever felt safe with, and in such a pure way. Just pure like presence and reciprocity. So you're really special at that, and you just have so much love and compassion in your heart while also being so wildly intelligent. So you play so many roles, and you're also my best friend, my lover, my life partner, and I'm just so excited to see you grow in the ways that you have in the last 3 years, over 3 years of being together.
Yeah.
It's so special. You've literally quantum leaped or just grown exponentially so many times. And yeah, I'm excited to create amazing things together with you. Mic drop. That's all.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, I have really beautiful threads, but you pinpointed one. So did you want to start there?
No, we could do that later on in the podcast.
Are you sure?
Okay, fine.
That one felt pretty good.
Yeah. So right now I'm reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And there's this graphic in the book, and it's pointing to how we want to be perceived and like the image we put out into the world. And then there's our true self.
Yeah.
And there's a gap between these two usually because of programming, because of conditioning, because of fear of not being able to be yourself because you'll be rejected or you won't be loved. And all these fears and programs that pretty much make the gap big between your authentic self and who you are at your core versus the mask that you put onto the world. So yeah, a big part of returning back to your authenticity is recognizing what are the aspects of self that are kind of a mask and preventing you from really just sinking into your authentic truth of who you really are. So it's about closing that gap.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's a lifelong journey and process. It's not just like a one and done thing.
Yeah.
But it was super helpful for me to see that. And I saw it in myself and in so many people that I know, where I was just contemplating and seeing and feeling the energies of the mask and how people like want to be loved and accepted, for example. So they show up a certain way to be that, but underneath that is something else that's maybe a pain or a wound that,
that creates a shadow. Which creates a gap between their true self versus their desired self.
Yeah.
I had this come up while you were speaking, but as you rise in consciousness, as you become more connected to your true self, aka divinity, but there's still this aspect of being a soul, and so as your true self, it becomes so obvious when someone is disconnected from their true self. And I find, especially through Instagram, I can very easily feel someone's energy when I scroll through their profile. I don't even need to look for more than 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I don't need to read the bio. I just need to see what comes up when I go to their profile.
Yeah.
Is every photo about them? This is one that I constantly see, where sometimes I'll go to somebody's profile photo and every single photo is just a photo about them. They're in each photo. And first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to just constantly show up on Instagram and post photos about yourself, that's fine. And I'm speaking very contextually to a specific Instagram profile that I've seen where they're very similar photos. There's not much variety. There's not much diversity
or depth
to the posts. And it tells me that this is somebody that hasn't truly connected deeply within themselves, because life is so beyond ourselves that when we really tap into community and we really tap into making brothers and sisters, we begin to share that with everybody, and it shows up in our photo book that we call Instagram. And so, yeah, it is a beautiful thing to tap into your true self, because you have this lens of truth and this lens of purity that you're able to see the world through, and you're no longer deceived by those who aren't connected to their true self, and you are able to just stick with holy company that supports you and loves you.
Yeah. I want to pinpoint what you said. You said brothers and sisters. I want to clarify on that. I feel like that is just seeing people through a lens of non-judgment and compassion and open-heartedness. It's like, yeah, you see everybody as equal and you're open to receive everybody as they are. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram's an interesting place.
It is.
You get to see some things pretty clearly.
You get to see how the person shows up.
Yeah.
And that's a really special, beautiful thing. So I have some really good prompts. These ones I love. These came to me before the podcast. Why are so many women living disconnected lives? And maybe preface by giving context to what a disconnected life is.
Okay. This is a big question, but I think it's simply just living out of alignment with your intuition. So being disconnected from your intuition and your heart, kind of just walking through life disconnected from your body, being out of your body and just following the blueprint or the programming or the conditioning that, is telling you to do something. Or like a really clear example is you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have a kid, you buy the house. That's a program, and a lot of people subscribe to that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but some people don't see beyond that and don't see another option, so they kind of just possibly go through life kind of numb and in this automatic program that leaves them disconnected from what do I actually want? What actually feels exciting to me? Because your 30s might come around, or your mid 30s, and you have this life established, you have the amazing job, you have a partner, you have the house. then what happens to a lot of women is that they're not happy. It's funny because on the surface level, you have everything.
Yeah.
You have like
the checklist.
You got
is
the
complete.
checklist. But at the end of the day, a lot of women just end up feeling like something is so wrong and they can't pinpoint what it is. And I deeply feel that it's just they're disconnected from their body, from their intuition. And yeah, as soon as you connect back to that, and it's a whole process, it's not just an easy thing where you flip a switch. But yeah,
okay,
I think
so
in short.
That was a really good description to what it means to be disconnected. So I would summarize that as you're sort of at the mercy of others and just following the common narrative that is shared amongst your environment, parents, brothers, sisters, family members, friends.
Totally.
And you sort of get into the rat race of
for sure
the blueprint 9 to 5, and then you retire and whatever. Okay.
You're also at the mercy of societal beliefs.
Yes, I really liked the way you described it as you're not tuning into your heart and truly connecting within yourself to ask, what do I truly want? What did my soul come here for?
Yeah.
What is the thing that's going to most benefit my soul's evolution? Okay, that's disconnection. Now speak to the second half of my question, which was why are so many women living disconnected lives?
I think it's just the way our world is right now. It's just so surface level. It's so material focused. It's so money focused. It's so image focused. And people just get lost in that. For me personally, growing up, it was hard for me because I felt in high school especially, there was a depth that I felt in my soul that I just couldn't meet. Whoa, what was that?
No.
Anyways, there was a depth in my soul that I felt that, it just didn't resonate with most people and things were just surface level. But wait, I lost my thought. That noise kind of distracted me.
The question was why are so many women living disconnected lives? And you were going into how it's a byproduct of societal beliefs and the way the world is, materialistically driven, image driven.
Yeah, so I feel a lot of women just become kind of like obsessed with physical appearance or
the surface
level things. So they just skate on the surface level, and there's an avoidance of looking deeper because of fear of what might be found, or fear that what they have now is going to be disrupted or kind of like taken away in a sense.
And so the nexus point, the sort of primary reason, it seems to tie in to just not being connected to their soul.
Right.
And the byproduct of not being connected to their soul isn't their fault per se, even though they have free will and they make their own choices and it is a byproduct of their decisions.
For sure. But
our world
is
heavily
not set up in that way.
Influences them.
Yeah. It's kind of like the saying of you become like your environment becomes you.
Yeah.
So, if you go to high school and you kind of stay in your same hometown, the likelihood of you changing is not going to be high.
Yeah.
Because you're just in that same field of like doing the same thing over and over, and
field
monotony.
Of energy.
Totally. And people with the same mindset in that town that you might have grown up in, that's not very out of the box, that people that don't think bigger or have bigger dreams and just stay in the comfort zone.
So what do you think what would you say are the 3 most practical ways women who are disconnected can reconnect to themselves?
The number one thing is somatic work. Somatic work is connecting back to the soma, which is your body. Because if you're disconnected from your body, you're disconnected from your intuition, you're disconnected from your cycle, you're disconnected from your inner truth. So when you can connect back to your body and actually feel what's there and what's alive for you, you start training yourself to be present with what is rather than running away from what's in your body. So that's number one. Number two, sorry, the question was for women that are disconnected, practical things.
Ways in which women can reconnect themselves.
Okay. Number two, I would say, is shifting your lifestyle in the way that you eat, in the way that you consume things physically and also non-physically. So going to into this a little bit deeper is being super conscious of what you are feeding yourself. So prioritizing organic food, local food, cutting out non-processed food, processed food, and processed sugars, like all those kinds of things. And as for the non-physical aspects, like being so aware of what you are watching. Like, are you watching Netflix? Are you watching fear-inducing programs or channels or movies? Is the music that you're listening to, like, what's the vibration of that? So that's number two. And a third one, let me feel into it.
I have the third one.
Yeah.
It's environment.
Well, yeah, that could be one.
Traveling. Get out of your field. Don't stay in the same home and the same place. And don't just go on a regular basic vacation to Cancun. You're not going to learn anything there. Go somewhere wildly different.
Yeah, or like
and don't go just
travel.
for a week. Try to tap into a community somewhere wildly different.
And I know a limiting belief for a lot of women is that I can't afford it. But you can budget it out in a way where you save up money and just set a timeline and a date for your trip.
Yeah.
And you can make it work.
Yeah.
I think that's a limiting belief. Like if you really set the intention that you want to do that and you want to go on a journey outside of the country and just self-discover and experience life, you can do it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's one. And what I was about to say is surrounding yourself with people who make you feel like seen and accepted and heard, and people that support your growth.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced this in the past, and I'm sure you have too, but having people around you that are your friends, but you can feel that there's like this evil eye energy where they're not actually supporting you. And when you grow, it triggers them and they're actually not happy about it because you're outgrowing them. So that's a tricky one. But
you might also just have a brother who's a complete narcissist, and whenever you see him says that you're retarded and that you have zero intelligence. And that's something I have. And that's something that I experience, and I love him, and I still unconditionally love him and laugh every time he says that. But it wears down my shields, my auric shields that I set up. It's just so draining to be around somebody that is constantly spewing negativity at you, even if they're coming at it from a joking place, quote unquote. So yeah, narcissists. Whoo.
So yeah, people, environment, what you consume, and connecting back to your body through somatic work and practices. This could be breath work. This could be intentional movement. Meditation, somatic shaking, just shaking out your body. Anything that you can do to connect back to your body and get out of your mind. So yeah.
Do
you want to go?
That.
Or?
Well, if you want to go next, you can go next.
Okay. I want to talk about how we deal with triggers as a couple, because this is a question that I've gotten a few times over the last few months.
Okay.
Because people see us on Instagram and they're like, all right, but How do you have a harmonious relationship? How do you work through triggers and I guess your differences?
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you could start.
How do we work through triggers? Well, only one person is ever triggered, in the sense that it takes one person being triggered. So how do I work through triggers will be the way in which I'll respond to this. If I feel triggered about something, and let's define what it means to be triggered, I'm brought into a lower vibration of fear, anxiety, anger, shame, guilt, anything that is below 200 on the Hawkins scale of consciousness, if you're familiar with that, or even a little bit closer to 200 and up, but mostly the lower vibrational ones. And I'm just going to play another little meditation because I really like them. Oh, that one was weird. Oh, that one's cool.
Cute.
Trinket. So when I feel these come up, first and foremost, from the wisdom of Kabbalah, pause, what a pleasure. And so this is an incredible affirmation that helps you rewire your understanding of what a trigger is. Because a trigger, when everything's great, you're feeling good, something happens. You get a text message from your ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. She said something or he said something that makes you just go into rage. Okay, that's a trigger. It's a very extreme example. When you are presented with that, divinity is showing you an aspect of self that is unintegrated. We call this in clinical psychology, thanks to our beloved Carl Jung, the shadow. And the shadow is the aspects of self that have been compressed and hidden away into the unconscious aspect of self. And they're there waiting to be reintegrated so that you can become a more whole soul. But the way in which those shadows are revealed to you is through triggers. And so every trigger is a process, it's an opportunity of reintegrating a lost piece of your soul or a lost piece of yourself. And so when you have that understanding, it's so much easier to go through the triggered process because you see that divinity has just given you what is the greatest gift that you could ever possibly receive. It's not $1 billion. That's not the greatest gift. The greatest gift is when something that is unintegrated within you is revealed.
How do you work through triggers in our relationship?
Well, this is it. Because when the trigger comes up, I am aware, this is an opportunity. So I'll do my best to, if it is involving you, which it rarely is, but if it is involving you, I'm going to ask you if we can sit down and have a drop-in together so that I can open my heart and share with you how I'm feeling. And so I'll say, babe, I need to talk to you. It's usually pretty difficult for me to talk when I'm feeling the triggered energy. And you're pretty good at sensing that something's off because I don't normally come to you with a feeling of like, babe, I need to talk to you. And then it's a sit down and I'll share with you usually how I'm feeling. And I'll say something like, when you said this, it made me feel shut down. Something happened just the other day. It was something simple. We were in the kitchen. I asked you, this is what happened. Perfect example. We received a package from Amazon. I opened it. It was a butter holder. It was a thing that holds butter. Like, so you can have your butter nicely stored in the fridge. And it was broken. It was made of clay or something, and it broke in the mail. And I was pulling the pieces out, and I said, well, we can just glue it back together, and it'll be a fun
There's
little...
like 30 pieces of this broken butter case.
There was about,
just for context.
There's about 12.
Okay.
And I was like, we can just glue this back together. And you're like, no, we're going to return it. Ask for a new one. Like, get a new one or get our money back, get a refund. And like, you could spend your time doing way better things. That's such a waste of time or something. And I remember just being like, because I felt that I was shut down by you, because I was sharing from my heart something that just came to me. Oh, this will be fun to like glue together. Cool, whatever, a little art project. And it made me feel stupid for even bringing that up based on how you communicated whatever you were feeling in response to the butter thing being broken. So I came to you, I looked at you and I said something like, babe, what you just said made me feel shut down and stupid. I don't know. It was just on my heart and it felt like a good idea. And in sharing that with you, you recognized, you're like, sorry, that wasn't my intention. And it helped you understand that your communication in that moment was very hard.
Yeah.
And very, and my communication with you was so soft. Like, what if we just made a little art project out of this? And so there's micro examples like that, but I'm usually never seriously triggered in our relationship. It's just micro things. But if I didn't say anything in that micro moment where I felt shut down, if I was disconnected from my body, it would bottle up and I would begin to project at you in different ways. And then we would be arguing a lot, which we don't do ever, because we're strong at communicating our emotions real time when we feel them. And the quicker you get at communicating your triggers with your partner, the more beautiful the relationship is all the time, because you're not bottling up and bottling up. Plus, it's important to recognize that your partner is just a reflection of you, and we're all in this game together as one. And so I don't look at you and think, how dare you? You know, I look at you and see you as a reflection of divinity, and that you're reflecting to me something that I need to reflect back to you so that we can continuously grow. And the pendulum goes back and forth, and we're both just pushing the ball.
I'm going to share now from my experience. But yeah, anytime I get triggered or something comes up, something that I always like to do is communicate it immediately, although sometimes I fumble and I hold it in a little bit longer. But what I learn from those moments where I do hold it in longer is that it makes me suffer internally longer, and I'm holding on. And like you said, you start projecting based on how you're feeling at the other person when you're creating a story based on how you're feeling. So communicating as soon as you can. And yeah, like sometimes what's helpful is just like walking up to you, kind of like childlike and like sad, and being like, let's talk. Yeah. You're like,
I'm sad.
And that kind of creates the safe space to drop in and soften the field. And then just talking about it and having the understanding that you would never want to hurt me and that I would never want to hurt you intentionally, and just creating a space of forgiveness and compassion and understanding that we're also just human and things are going to come up, but they're also beautiful opportunities for us to grow in harmony together. So yeah, it's really beautiful also that we don't fight. We always resolve whatever comes up in a very peaceful and loving manner, I feel. So we do a really good job at that.
Oh yeah, we've never had any form of physical fight or even just verbal fight.
Yeah, we'd never verbally fight. I mean, of course, we have our little moments where we get like, Rawr.
But that's a brother and sister bickery energy
Yeah.
that comes from a more playful place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay because we're both also brother and sister to each other. Yeah.
That sounds weird.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get to relate to each other in all the archetypes of the human experience. We're
For
obviously
sure.
not genetically related,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you're my best friend.
sometimes you're my
lover.
mom, sometimes you're my lover, sometimes you're my best friend, sometimes you're my sister.
Yeah, it all
And it's
comes up.
important to allow your partner to accept you as all these different roles, because if you don't, you're shutting out and putting an aspect of the human experience into the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let's move on to the next thing.
Okay.
Do you feel complete?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, I love this topic, but it's a question of what's the most important thing to do if you don't know what to do or where you're going with your life. And I'll start with my answer, and it's to pursue yourself. Like when you don't know what to do and you feel lost and confused, the best thing that you can do is just pursue yourself. So getting healthy, getting fit physically, spiritually, emotionally, because when you clear your vessel of toxicity, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, then you become connected. You start having a pure channel because you detoxify yourself on all levels, which then allows you to connect greater to divinity and your truth and your authenticity. And I think that it's in this journey of, getting lost where we can actually find ourselves deeper, understand ourselves deeper, and then find what makes us feel alive, which I believe is our purpose. Because purpose has, I think, the stigma to it where people are like, oh my God, I need to find my purpose. And it's this whole thing and it becomes overwhelming. And it's like, oh my God, like, I don't know what my purpose is. But I think simply put, your purpose is following what makes you feel alive. What excites you to wake up every single day? What do you feel excited to do without any insistence on the outcome? And I think seeing purpose through that perspective is beautiful. But yeah, I think if you feel lost or confused, the best thing that you can do is to pursue yourself. And that's what I did on my own journey. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you on that topic.
I loved what you said. And it's the classic example of when you get on the plane, they tell you if we're crashing, you put your mask on first. Then you can help other people put their masks on.
Yeah, wow, that's a
you
beautiful metaphor.
You have to pursue yourself first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I'll give my own unique take. What was the question again?
The most important thing to do when you feel lost, confused, or a lack of direction in your life.
Yeah. For those who feel lost, it's okay to just accept that and know that it's part of the human experience. We all come into this world as a blank slate. And as a blank slate, we are disconnected from our souls because we pass through the veil in the incarnation process, completely forget that we're more than just a physical vessel. And in that forgetting, it's very scary, especially when you're in that prime time. You just graduated high school. What are you going to do with your life? And you don't really know. And so you feel lost. Your parents are telling you, go be a doctor. Your brother's saying, you should do the thing that you keep telling me about, that you really want to do.
Or do what makes you the most money.
Right. Do what makes you the most money. So I feel that it's important to know that it's okay to feel lost, and that if you do feel that, everything that we spoke about prior is extraordinarily helpful. Go and put yourself in lots of different unique environments, safe environments, of course. Experience lots of different things. The human experience is so rich. It's so diverse. It's an infinite buffet. You could never eat the whole thing in one lifetime. You could never try every dish. But you'll never know what dish you truly love, what aspect of the human consciousness you truly love, if you don't go and try lots of different things. So by putting yourself in different cultures, in different environments, in different everything that you can possibly imagine, follow different people on Instagram, go watch different videos on YouTube, all of it, switch, shuffle, everything you possibly can. Try every dish on the buffet of the human experience. And in so doing, hold an awareness that you're looking for something that feels good. And that's the ability to be connected to your heart and to feel what lights you up. There's this classic thing that we say all the time, follow your heart. It's a super important phrase. It's not some hippie phrase. It's the thing that brings you to living the most fulfilled, abundant, healthy life, loving life. It isn't something you do to just go be a starving artist, although that's the common narrative. So go and try everything you possibly can and feel into what feels the best. And then if it feels really good, go deeper into that thing. Because if there's one plate that you really like on the buffet, it just so happens that you could spend your entire life devoted to that one aspect of the human consciousness, and you could master it. And that could be the thing that gives you the most joy and fulfillment. But you'll never find it if you don't get out of the box.
I think what most people struggle with is feeling like if they do that and they start exploring, that they're going to mess up or they're going to do something wrong or they're going to fail.
Yeah.
So for me personally, that's something that I came up against a lot. And I'm constantly in the process of surrendering that, knowing that I can't make a wrong decision essentially. And even if everybody around me is telling me this is not the right decision, the most important thing is that it feels good to me and that it makes sense to me. Because nobody knows what you feel and what is right for you, because your intuition is going to guide you and call you to what is right for you. And nobody can decide that for you but you. And I get where this happens, because again, this happened to me too in the past, but you put so much faith in your parents, your best friends, the people that you love, your family, your mentors, your guides, and you put the value of their word over your own word and your own inner truth. So yeah, just through the process of feeling lost and confused, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. It's going to pass. It's temporary. Like, you're not always going to feel that way. And just trusting yourself, like coming back to internal, innate trust within yourself over and over and over again. And that's a practice. But it's the most important thing, I think, one of the most important things we can do in this life. Because if we don't connect to our body and our intuition, we're not going to be living a life that is for us.
Yeah.
You know? We're going to be living for other people.
Yeah.
And I can see people listening to this podcast being like, that's a good thing. Service to others, not service to self. But the first step in being on the path of service to others is coming back to yourself, figuring out what lights you up, getting to know who you are on a deep level so that you can feel grounded in what makes you feel alive, and then spread that light with people around you, and you become a beacon like we talked about.
Oh, I love that. Amen.
Yeah, I just went on a whirl.
That
There was
was
something
really
else I
good.
wanted to touch upon, but I can't recall.
That's okay. I have the next thread for us. This one's great. How does a woman's diet impact her ability to blossom into her most radiant and authentic version of self?
Ooh, I love this topic a lot. So, where do I begin? I'll go into my own experience with this, because I think it's through storytelling and sharing our own lived experience where there's the most wisdom. When I was in college and playing Division I volleyball, the food that we were eating from the school was dead. Let me just say that. And most food at universities isn't very nutrient dense. It's not organic. It's not local. It's conventional. And during this time, I had no education on how to nourish myself properly. At the time, I was vegetarian and not getting enough protein in my diet for the amount that I was lifting and working out and also going to school. So during this time, I was deeply inflamed. Like, my whole body was puffy, my face was puffy, and I was feeling sick like most of the time. I was feeling chronically fatigued. I had a lot of digestive issues that started coming upon me, and I just felt terrible. And it was because of not just what I was eating, but my lifestyle in general. But when I hit my breaking point physically and in all the levels, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that was a wake-up call for me to be like, okay, I'm clearly doing something wrong. I'm going to heal myself physically and shift the way that I relate to food. So when I started shifting my diet and eating a more whole food diet, where the food is not processed, cutting out processed sugars, processed foods, investing in organic food, starting to eat protein again, my whole entire consciousness shifted, because what was happening was my body was detoxing layers of toxicity that were causing inflammation, and food that was nutritionally void, and
Pesticides,
hormones, all these things, herbicides. And that was keeping me in a disconnected state, because I also believe that our food carries an energy. So if you're eating meat that is raised in a factory farm, that meat, those animals are being tortured, they're being abused, they have terrible living conditions. So when you eat that meat, you're essentially taking on the energy of the animal. And of course, you can do what you can to like bless it, but if you're eating food that's nutritionally void and lacking life and vitality, like, that's going to be a reflection in your own health and in your own body. So when I started eating food that is alive and vital and rich in nutrients, my whole entire vessel began to change. My acne started clearing up. I literally got my life back at the time, because I went from complete rock bottom physically, and I slowly started coming back to myself in a way that I've never been connected with myself before, which was super powerful. So, yeah, the question originally was
how diet impacts a woman's capacity or ability to step into her most radiant and authentic version of self.
Yeah, so essentially when you clear your vessel and you start nourishing yourself with vital, radiant, alive foods, your consciousness becomes a reflection of that, which when you have a clear channel, when you have a clear vessel, you are able to receive more. And this comes on so many different levels too, because there's the emotional, the mental, the spiritual aspects as well. But I really think for many people, we begin the blossoming process by working with our physical body and shifting our nutrition, shifting our lifestyle, because that's like the gateway to open yourself up to the other aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, food is just nourishment. And when you nourish yourself with high quality whole foods that are the most close to source as possible, you just become a clear vessel and a clear channel, and you're able to access your innate vitality and radiance.
I really liked what you said earlier about how when we are ingesting conventional pesticide-ridden, hormone-ridden, herbicide-ridden foods, not to mention the energetics behind the animals or the plants and the way that they're treated, etc., our body is having to then work and expel energy to detox all of that garbage out of the system. And what's so crazy is that it actually can't for a lot of people. So they get super overweight. They don't know why. They get terrible acne. Mm-hmm. They don't know why. Now they're extremely self-conscious because they have terrible acne and they're overweight. Oh my God. So now they're just a self-conscious, highly anxious person that has low self-worth. And why? Because they didn't know that their school was feeding them garbage, this type of food, or they didn't know that the medication that was subscribed to them and recommended to them from their doctor had a horrible side effect of incredible unsatiable, where you're just hungry all the time. What is that? It was like
insatiated.
Yeah. And we know somebody who went through that, and he wasn't a man, he was a child. And so he didn't even know. There was no ability for him to know that it was the medication, which is bananas because there's so many people going through that. And so it can really spiral you into a dark place where the worst case scenario is that you die of disease.
Yeah. I love that you bring up that point, because when you do eat toxic foods or chemical, pesticide, herbicide ridden foods, your body does work harder. Mm-hmm. And if you keep doing that over a long period of time, your organs or your like things in your body just will start to malfunction because you're overriding your body with things it just can't process anymore, which causes disease in the body. And people wonder why they're chronically ill or chronically fatigued. It's like you're not giving your body the chance or the opportunity to heal because you're just constantly feeding it and giving it foods and energy that is not actually nourishing you. It's toxic. And people don't realize how important that is. Mm-hmm. I mean, the amount of people in my past that laughed at organic food and said it's a scam.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's like, no, the quality of your food is really important. And we say this a lot, but you pay now or you pay later. Mm-hmm. So like invest in your health now, take care of your vessel as the temple that it is, because it is your vessel for your soul to express itself in this life. So when you're sick, when your vessel is not in good shape, your soul, your expression, your fullest authentic essence doesn't have the capacity to come through because you're not feeling good. And when you're not well, it's just not possible.
And it's so difficult to spiritually progress when you're physically unwell.
So yeah, that's going back to the original question of, like, why is it so important for you to shift your nutrition so that you can blossom?
I knew you would love that.
I love that question.
Yeah, it's so obvious that you've been through such a transformation
I could go on
related
about
to
it.
diet and food. And I was feeling that we would put up some photos on the screen of your face prior while we were having that conversation.
Yeah, it's an incredible journey. I almost forget that I dealt with such pain and the acne that I had and the effect that that had on my mental health and my self-worth and my value in this world. So it's beautiful to have that reminded, because it's easy to forget when now my skin's good, I'm healthy, I'm feeling well. But yeah, it's really potent.
I have the next beautiful question.
Let's go.
I have seen you building it as if it's an incredible book for what feels like over a year now, or nearly a year. And it's so special to see you devote yourself to this with so much consistency, because I know what it takes to build. And big reveal, the question that I'm getting at is, what is InnerBloom and why did you feel the call to create it?
Wow. So InnerBloom is my signature offering to this world right now that I've been building over the last year. And just to preface, there's been a lot of shame and guilt in this process that it's taking so long to build. And I've been beating myself up about it and almost shooting myself in the foot. But I love what you said, how it's like writing a book and it's not to be rushed and it takes time and it's a beautiful process that you get to grow with and like go through your own initiation as you build the process or the course. But what inspired me to create it was my own journey of suffering and lack of health, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, and just returning back to a space of vitality, radiance, self-acceptance, self-love, and wholeness within myself, which opened up the world for me in ways I couldn't ever imagine in the past. So InnerBloom is essentially a framework that I created for women to come into a safe space where they are seen and heard fully for who they are, and just providing this container and process where they get to grow through the chakra system. So we start at the root and we go all the way up to the crown to recognize subconscious beliefs and blockages within each center, and just really going through a process of self-discovery, getting to know yourself deeper and healing on a really deep level so you can return to a deep wholeness and safety in your body and your experience, and knowing how to nourish yourself, shifting your mindset, and really installing beliefs that support you and the life that you want to create for yourself based off of your body's intuition and your body's wisdom. So there's a lot there, but it's essentially a holistic healing journey for the woman who is ready to get out of her own way, to unblock herself, and to just have the foundation that we should be taught in school, but we're not, to really just rise into your most sovereign, vital, authentic version of self.
Oh,
yeah.
That was such a good definition.
Thanks. It just came through.
Yeah, that was the best I've ever heard you describe it.
Thank you. But yeah, essentially, it took me years, and it took me years to get to the place that I am now. And if I could have had a mentor who offered this program to me, this container, I would be in an instant. But things like this didn't come across my field at all. And just the amount of things that I would have overcome quicker if I had a container like this would have been incredible, and I would have done anything to do it. But I also recognize that I had to go through what I went through so that I can create what I'm creating now and be of service to women, because like we were talking about being lost before, I was super lost when I completely just left the life that I was living to take care of my health and really rediscover who I am. So
you dropped out of college, for context.
Yeah.
It's a big decision.
And I quit my quote unquote dream of playing Division I volleyball, which I've always wanted to do. But yeah, I lost myself to find myself, found what makes me feel alive. And now I feel like it's my purpose to share that here with the world and be the safe space for women to heal and feel safe and just love themselves deeper than they ever have before. Because I felt so alone for most of my life and so unseen and so unloved by the people around me. And that's not to say everybody, but just not seen for who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, just providing that space has been my greatest passion this last year.
Oh, it's been so special seeing you step into it.
Thank you for asking that question.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, having a container with a powerful guide that doesn't take this authoritarian position and act like I'm coaching you, but having a guide who opens up a space in a loving and safe manner that isn't above you but is beside you is so rare. It's so rare. The classic and common archetype that you see is the coach who takes the stance of being above. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a more formal, traditional, outdated model of allowing people to step into their greatest version of self. I think the new model, the new blueprint, the new way that is far more efficient and effective is to position yourself beside somebody, look them eye to eye at an equal level, and just share with them that wherever they are is perfect and that they're safe to express what they're going through, and just hold the space for them to be able to see where in their life they may be, holding on to a shadow or whatever, but doing it from a loving place and a soft place has been what I feel is one of your greatest gifts. And that's the softness that I was speaking about when I did the introducing Claudia at the beginning of this episode. Softness is such a rare thing. And it makes sense. I don't know much about astrology, but you're a water sign, you're a Pisces. And so you're just so feely and
I'm pretty feely.
And malleable, and water is like the most adaptable substance. It turns into whatever. It perfectly fits anywhere at any time. It's so special to learn from somebody that is a water sign. Not that I'm a huge astrology person, but like
you used to be so not astrology.
It does correlate so perfectly for you. And there's so many women out there who might be a water sign. They might be someone who's a deep feeler and they value softness, but they have a coach that's in radical fire and they're breathing down their neck like a dragon, and it's not helpful for them. That's not the best harmonic resonance for them to be able to step into their next most highest version of self. So I wanted to call that out because, in your, I don't know when it was, but recently you're talking about highly sensitive women. And I feel that if a woman is listening to this and feels like she is deeply sensitive, or someone who feels deeply everything and everyone around her.
You also don't have to be a water sign to be that way. It was just for the sake of an example.
Just for the sake of an example, I do feel that there's so much harmony for that person to be in your field and to be in your space.
Yeah. Wow. I really believe that that's the new way of leadership.
Yeah.
It's not superiority or just like feeling better than anybody, or just taking them by the throat, but rather holding them hand in hand.
Yeah.
And just being with them through the process and loving them as they are and being patient in the process, because at the end of the day, people just want to be loved and seen.
Yeah.
And most people aren't loved and seen for who they are because the people around them don't have the capacity to do so because of the environment that they're in. And most people are just so locked up and walled up and unable to connect to that deepy, feely capacity within them, because we all have it within us. But a lot of people look down on it as well.
Oh yeah, you're too sensitive.
You're too sensitive. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But with that too, like, you're also so amazing at that. And yeah, I would love for you to share what you're doing now, because you're also leading in a beautiful way in a completely different realm than me. But I want you to speak about it now. Into it.
Yeah. To preface this in a beautiful way, I'm just going to start a little meditation. Oh, these are funny.
Yeah.
I'm working on something called AgencyBirth. For context, I'm somebody who decided not to go to university and started my own business and decided to go down the entrepreneurial path, which felt very risky and very, but it turned out really well. And I created this company that became worth millions of dollars that I sold. Very grateful for that. There's a lot of people that helped that journey. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just me, myself, and I who did it, and I take all credit. There was a lot of people involved that started as people I hired, then later became partners, and then we went through the journey of selling. I went through the journey of exiting that company. And so that was a near 10-year journey that started when I was about 19. Actually, it was only like 7 years. Started when I was 19, ended when I was 26. The company is called BTR Media. It's a really cool company. It's an advertising agency. And when I met you, that was sort of my inner bloom that happened.
You were completely different when I first met you.
I was just a businessman. Some people said I looked like a German soldier. I don't know. That was a bit of a harsh comment, but I got it a few times.
Yeah, I love it.
And you were sort of this activation that helped me tap into my feminine, helped me tap into my soul. And I really shifted a lot. My whole life shifted. And I came to the realization that I no longer wanted to be part of this business. And so I decided to exit that company. In that exit process, I was in radical freedom and decided, let me start this nonprofit thing called Satori School. It's going to be a podcast. We're going to help bring humanity back to inner peace. That's the mission. And we're going to share conscious conversations with the world through social media. It's going to be the best thing ever. So buy like $40,000 of equipment. And everybody's panicking. My previous partner's like, why are you spending so much money on something like that? Anyways, here we are. And I recently, about 9 months ago, or about 8 months ago, had the inspiration at your house, your childhood home, while in New Jersey, to create a program devoted to helping people start their own agency. And it wasn't something that was my idea. It was something that was reflected to me through several other people who sort of asked me for this, because I have a following on YouTube, a channel with hundreds of videos that I created over the years of scaling my agency, because I documented the process. And there was all these people that were in a group that I created from over the years. And in this one magical special day, suddenly 5 people reached out and were like, hey.
On the same day?
It was all pretty much on the same day. It was within like 48 hours. And they were like, hey, could you make like a group that's like business and also maybe spiritual? And because I was so spiritual at that time, I was like, oh, okay, I'll consider this, because there's an element of spirituality in here. I was very anti-business at that point in my life, not long ago. And I spoke to these people. We decided, yeah, let's try this out. Let's open up a container, a space where we can share a field together and see how it feels. And I remember the first Zoom call, it was kind of awkward. All these new people getting to know each other. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? We're all getting to know each other and feel each other out. How's this going to work? I don't know. This is an experiment. I'm not like some leader that knows how this is going to flow. Let's just talk and see how this flows and unfolds. And that was how it started. It was this weird experiment where people are like, let's try this. And then as it continued, it was very quickly after that group formed that I started receiving sort of the same questions over and over and started feeling like, okay, what if I just build the program? What if I actually just intentionally build the blueprint of everything I know? So that way I'm not just sitting on these calls saying the same thing over and over to different people. And the calls can be more of a flow, and it can be more of a, I don't know, it can just unfold in a beautiful way. Because when you have a course that's incredible and it trains people on everything you know in a way that allows them to step up into your level of consciousness, to access the knowledge that you've accessed through the experience that you've gone through, what happens then is that the container of communication that unfolds between you and the people that are in your program is so much higher because everyone leveled up when they went through the course. So when you don't have a powerful blueprint in a pre-recorded fashion that we call a digital course, it sort of doesn't allow for the field to be as high as possible on the calls. So I sort of intuited that at a very early stage and thought, well, this is not going to be good if I don't build a course. So I started building it, and 6 months later, I'm still building it. And I'll probably be building it for another 6 months, to be honest, because based on how it's unfolding, it's not going to be the 9-month birth that I thought it was going to be. It's probably going to be a 12-month birth process. And to, in short, answer this question, which I probably could have started with this to give greater context, AgencyBirth is a course, community, and coaching offering that I have that helps people start an AI-powered agency that realistically can earn you at least up to between $20,000 to $30,000 per month. And I say that because the knowledge that I've put into the course is good enough to get you there. It's not built to get you to $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 per month, which I have experience in being able to do and teach, but I didn't build it around that because the vast majority of people are struggling to make $70,000 a year. And the idea of $30,000 a month, $1,000 a day is just bananas. It's incomprehensible to the average human being, even though to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do this, no problem. You can learn this. So it's really helping people step into financial freedom. And that's the mission of AgencyBirth, is that we're devoted to helping humanity step into financial freedom. And it's a powerful thing, because if you are not financially free, if you're stuck in the energy of worrying whether or not you're going to be able to pay the bills, worrying whether or not you can afford your rent, just not feeling good because you don't have enough money in your bank account, your root chakra remains blocked. Your lower 3 chakras are more blocked, aka you're just in a more dense field of consciousness, and the human experience is just more difficult.
Yeah.
Because you're worried, you're stressed, you're anxious, you don't have enough money coming in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't allow you to spiritually progress. And so I felt, okay, I was blessed. The Lord blessed me with this business that became worth millions of dollars. And I learned a lot along the way. And I could teach other people how to do that. And that would help their souls progress so much. And I sort of sold myself on the process of Taylor. If you do this, you're helping humanity work through such a lower, dense vibration, even though on the surface, someone could look at it and say, oh, that person just teaches people how to make money. And that on the surface, that's what it is. But it's so much deeper than that. And the vast majority of the coaching calls that we have every week, because there's a call every week, we're talking about Jesus, we're talking about Buddha, we're talking about shadows. Actually, probably the majority of the conversations isn't rooted in business. It's rooted in the unseen aspects that influence the business, because that's the foundation.
Wow.
Your business can't thrive if you're in a state of anxiety. So most of the time I'm coming on the calls and someone's telling me that they're anxious. I'm like, okay, well, this is clearly the most important thing. Why are you anxious? Well, this is happening. I'm worried about this person leaving me because if they leave, And so, yeah, the program is heavily built around both business. Sorry, there's a mosquito bite. Itchy. Business and also mindset and spirituality, because you won't have a good business if you don't have a good connection to self, a connection to source. And you don't want to build a business that is rooted in, how do I make more money?
Mm-hmm.
You want to build a business that is rooted in, what is going to fulfill my soul and make me wildly abundant?
Right.
Ultimate win-win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about. I'm not trying to teach people how to make money. I'm teaching people how to do it in an authentic and purpose-driven way so that they make the money and spiritually evolve. It's a really profound thing. I'm really excited about it and grateful for the near 7 people that are in it right now, even though it's not fully done.
That's what makes you so special as a leader in the space that you're in, because most people are just focused on selling themselves as, I can help you make money. And it's just that surface level sell where, a lot of people want to learn how to make money, but you are so much deeper than that. You help people connect to their soul, which is going back to the initial thing that we were talking about just being disconnected and how do you reconnect. And you're helping people come back into their power as creators through mindset, through inner work, and through building the foundation of how to build your agency and financial freedom to do that. So it's really special. And I also love how you're starting at the root chakra, and you have this philosophy in your course that you need to work on your root chakra first before any of the others. Otherwise, you'll have blocks here which won't allow you to, let's say, quote unquote, ascend or spiritually progress.
Or make more money.
And InnerBloom is the same. We begin at the root chakra with grounding. Because if you don't feel safe in your experience, if you have money blocks or beliefs that are rooted in lack and scarcity and fear, you're not going to be able to progress spiritually or in life that much.
Or any,
So yeah, we're killing it.
Yeah. I mean, we're both doing the same thing in very different ways. The parallel between our programs, our offerings, is that we are both devoted to helping people step into their highest version of self. That is ultimately what AgencyBirth actually is and what InnerBloom actually is.
Yeah. Just different core pain points.
Yeah, exactly.
And intentions.
Totally different. Wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we go a little bit longer. Couple more.
How far are we in?
Hour and a half.
Okay.
I have 1 or 2 more threads.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Right.
This has been so good.
Yeah, it's juicy.
If people like the meditation in the background, I do.
I like it too.
I'd love to know. So just leave a comment if you really enjoy the frequencies in the background.
Let us know. Por favor.
Maybe this one's similar to what we just talked about, but I wrote it down anyways. What is your intention behind sharing your journey with the world on social media?
My intention is to help women feel safe and seen, essentially. I really feel that by showing up authentically in my truth and being vulnerable, that will allow the permission for other women or men too to feel more safe being themselves. And to also show the possibility that, yeah, you can do it. You can heal. You can literally thrive. Like it's possible for you. Because so many people believe that it's not. I was one of those people for a long time. So yeah, my intention is to just inspire, empower, and guide women specifically, but everyone back into their inner power and their inner truth, to feel safe in their experience and to truly just blossom. I think it's from my own pain and how far I've come. I'm not saying I've arrived to this place. Like there's still so much I want to do. And yeah, I get hard on myself a lot because sometimes I forget to reflect on how far I've come, and I get so caught up in doing more and more and more and more that I lose sight of, just the distance I've traveled from where I once was. But anyways, going back to the main point, my journey inspires me because I know that there's women out there that are literally suffering and feeling terribly lost and low self-worth and completely isolated and alone. And I know how debilitating that is, and just feeling like they don't know what to do. So just being a guiding light for others in that scenario is my intention. Just to be like the angel for them that shows up in their life, to bring them into a space where they're actually held and seen for the first time. Because again, we all just want to be loved, and there's so much power in that. And just like being utterly and completely present with somebody is so powerful. So that's my intention.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel how powerful it is if I was a woman to arrive somehow on any piece of content that you publish, because all of it is so radiant, and you put a significant amount of love and energy into it. And to share that with the world, I feel helps women understand themselves better. Again, the macro is the micro and the micro is the macro. And so if there is one woman who has gone through the pain and the suffering and transcended has made a quantum leap and has transcended a vast bridge of dense lower vibrations in the scale of consciousness, and has gone out of the acne-ridden face, the overweight, inflamed body once upon a time in college, to where you are today and radiating and shining. Wow, to share that with the world is so inspiring. And it's the journey as a creator of sharing your art, because your art is what inspires people to go and create their own art. And sometimes the art that we share is ourselves. Our body is a form of art. We've sculpted it. If we radiate, it's because we have done things to radiate.
And God created it, therefore it's art.
That too, yeah. But I feel the power of what you share, and it's really beautiful to see.
Thank you. What's your intention?
Well, I don't really show up right now,
right.
But I am about to, and I guess I do show up pretty strongly with Satori School. The intention of Satori School is to help humanity come back to inner peace. These conscious conversations rippling through the universe across various different social media platforms does have a tremendous impact on the overall level of consciousness of humanity, because the education system is clearly failing people. I don't know about you, but I think, well, I'm talking more so to the listeners, but I went to a school in the Western world, grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I came out of high school not knowing anything about what my intuition is, not knowing anything about what conscious communication is, nothing to do with understanding my emotions. I knew mathematics, science, language, history.
Or your health.
Or health. I learned everything that was sort of not central to allowing me to progress as a being. And so by sharing these conscious conversations, we're recreating the education system of the world. We're also democratizing access to the knowledge, because schools cost money. You have to show up and you got to pay a certain amount to be in the class with the professor to get access to the outdated textbooks, usually, generally speaking. And so it costs a lot. You go wildly into debt. It sucks to come out of there and be so in debt. And sometimes it's valid if you want to go be a doctor
or a lawyer.
Okay, you're going to have to learn the rules. That makes sense. But most people don't even know what they want to do. They just sign up to something. They go $50,000 in debt and they come out and they're like,
it's like hundreds of thousands.
Or hundreds
at this point.
of thousands. And so this is free. This is free. That's crazy. It's the new earth, some could say. And so we're making this free, and it is making an impact. And so that's one of the predominant ways in which I'm showing up, and the intention behind it is peace. And then for my personal stuff, I'm about to show up very strongly for AgencyBirth, which is more so centered around financial freedom and helping people step in to financial freedom and clear their lower 3 chakras, basically, by having that abundance and the knowledge and the wisdom that comes with it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you have one more?
I'll check, but I'm feeling the close coming.
Yeah, I'm feeling the close. I'm actually ready to close with something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is the first podcast we've recorded in over a year, I believe.
Wow, it's been that long?
It's been that long.
Whoa.
And I just want to point out and recognize how much we've grown since the last time we recorded an episode.
Huge.
Like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, our home right now is the best it's ever been. It feels so good and like grounded. We're so much grounded. I feel like we've become so much more grown into ourselves and just more sophisticated and confident in our speaking. An intention I had in the beginning was to not use filler words like, for example, and where that would happen a lot in podcasts last year, but we both did such a good job.
Yeah, this was one of the best we've ever done.
Yeah.
Very, very, very few filler words, if any.
We're much more in our bodies and in this earth than we were last year.
Oh my God.
And it feels so good.
Yeah, it feels great.
We're so much more integrated and whole than we were last year.
And physically stronger.
Wow,
and my body has transformed a lot in a year.
We're just healthy. We're strong. We're both rooted in work that is fulfilling. And it's just such a blessing. So I'm really grateful to be recording this podcast. We also just got back from a 3-month journey in Costa Rica, which was life-changing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just excited to keep surrendering and letting go and just being so honed in on the path, our own personal paths and our path together as a couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love you. This has been so beautiful. And for anybody watching, I hope this was valuable for you. And I hope you feel the love and the intention and the heart that was shared in this space today. These are just types of conversations we honestly have every single day. So it feels cool to set up and just drop into a flow like we usually do and then just share it with the world and whoever tunes in. So yeah, I'm super grateful.
Yeah. Oh. I'll do a little closing prayer. we give thanks for the opportunity to sit together and share our word with the world. And we pray that those who are attracted to this are able to receive it and integrate it into their lives so that they can become a more radiant and empowered, whole version of self. That has been the intention, and we hope you guys all enjoyed it.
Yay.
Yay. And if you want to connect with Claudia or myself, or tune into the Whole Soul or whatever, in the links, there's a bunch of links in the description, and you can check that out if that's of interest. Yay.
Yay. We love you.
Love you.
Mwah.
Bye bye.